apartment does not look like as if someone would have a lot of guests. Lucy wonders, was Mrs. Dawson really willing? Or was she really a close friend of Karen Leaves so that they would have breakfast every day in the morning? Did Karen know that someone else has a spare key to her apartment? Lucy looks around, and in the center of the room she sees a table. She sees Karen Leaves sitting on a chair in front of the table. She pays close attention to Karen Leaves. She was strangled. She can see the marks on her throat. She was strangled with a rope, with a thin rope, maybe with a shoelace. Karen's eyes were gouged, her ears were cut, and as it seems like through blood through her mouth, her tongue was cut off. But this was all done post-mortem, because or after her heart stopped pumping. That's why there is fewer blood. If the murderer would have cut off Karen's ears, nose, gouged her eyes and cut off her tongue while her heart was beating, then there would have been more blood. Lucy looks at the scene. It all seems like that she was tortured right before she died. But it is more likely that she was already dead, or didn't feel anything at all when her eyes were gouged, her ears cut off, and her tongue cut off. Lucy's thoughtful. What is this all about? Eyes, ears, and tongue. She looks at Karen's dress. She sees that Karen wears shoes in her home. The shoelaces are tied neatly. So Karen was in her home. She is unemployed for about 5 years. The neighbor, Mrs. Dawson, probably watched her very closely, who may be lying when she says that Karen was depressive and that she took care of it or was curious, whatever. But it is not likely that someone in his own home is dressed neatly for dinner. Karen is not dressed fancifully, just neatly. It seems like that this would be her Sunday dress, even though people who do not care about their appearances anymore, they have at least one dress, either to apply for jobs. You need something, even though they do not apply for jobs, they have one dress whatsoever, which they keep always neat in a shape. This dress sometimes is needed to fancy themselves, or even to give someone a motivation to move on, or give them mental support for any agony they get, or they go through all these one fancy dresses are filled with all imaginations, with hopes and desires that in the future they will be able to change their current situation. These one fancy clothes or one good Sunday clothes sometimes even are filled with imagination that people would see a different kind of a person, a different perspective, that one would become a different person just through clothes, that one could change other people's opinion or other people's perception of oneself, or they are just plain simply Sunday church dresses. Even though people who have given up on faith still keep a Sunday church dress, maybe something might happen. People who have given up faith because of things happened in their life, of tragedy this happened in their life, they still have in their minds a hope that God will make up for it, that God will some sort of apologize for all that came their way, and they are sometimes just waiting for a sign, so that they can regain their faith. That's why they keep still a Sunday dress, even though they tell everyone that they have become atheists. They do not believe in God anymore, and they regret those times where they have ever believed in God and whatsoever. Lucy pays close attention. So the victim, Karen leaves, who normally eats fast food. This is one could immediately see at the trash lying around. She sits there on a dinner table, one chair. In front of her are dumplings. This is not probably her usual food, not to mention her favorite food. Dumplings, they look homemade. Lucy looks around. It does not appear as if those dumplings were made in the victim's home. They were brought with them. This could be a delivery guy who knew who the victim was. It is most likely that Karen ordered her fast food, and that maybe the murderer got plenty time to observe the victim, be around her, and Karen was unemployed for at least 5 years. So this could mean in these 5 years she has ordered a lot of times fast food through a delivery. And it could be that she met the same guy over and over again, that this guy even, or this person even entered her home. She even may have had conversations with him, because the victim's home looked like that she doesn't have many friends at all, that she probably spent most of her days and most of her time in here. So she might have had the urge to talk with someone, tell someone about her worries. And then the murderer might have gotten to know Karen better and better. But this killing does not look like someone would be after money, because this is what you would assume, that the delivery guy who walks into a mansion or whatsoever would get greedy at the side of the mansion and would then make up plans to rob his customer of his wealth. But nothing in here seems to be valuable. In addition, this murder is a different kind of murder. It is a sadistic murder, as it seems. Lucy looks around. The dumplings bother her. It seems as if they would be for a special occasion. But a special occasion that is not very common or known for everyone. Maybe some sort of private. Many families have some private traditions. And these traditions, they are then honored with special food, and only they and close family members know about these foods, what belongs to these foods. This is like your favorite meal, your favorite dish. Only close friends know about them. And maybe there might be some tradition, for example, a tradition to honor a deceased relative who loved dumplings, and to eat dumplings a lot, and once in a year or whatever, the family honors this and commemorates this lost and diseased relative in eating dumplings. So the dumplings are out of place here, but still it appears that this is all festive, considering the dress and the tight shoes the victim is wearing. Her hair is tied to a ponytail. Even though she ordered, or normally would order, food from the delivery service, or would get her food from the delivery service, and as it appears mostly would eat alone in her home, most certainly in front of the TV. Lucy sees that the TV in the room is right opposite the couch, and the couch seems to be worn out, so that most of the time Karen was sitting on the couch watching TV, and it even looks like that she slept a lot on the couch. The surface of the couch is fretted, used. The couch seems to be very old. So why would the victim then wear her Sunday dress for food, and then for just not her ordinary food, maybe special occasion? The dumplings are in the center of the small table. In front of the victim is an empty plate which she has bled on. But it is a single dinner. It only implies that there would be a second plate, but there is the missing chair in front of it. Lucy looks around. She searches for the second chair. There is a second chair in the corner, and there is some stuff on this second chair.